You're still watching the Citi Newsroom, currently standing in the hallway of the headquarters of the Electoral Commission. Now, walking down the hallway is the president of the land, Akufo-Addo, who is about to file his nomination forms at the headquarters of the EC. We do know that he will be backed by some key members of the party, including the national chairman of the party, Freddie Blade, his general secretary, John Buedu, the vice president of the land, as well as the chief of staff. Now, they are taking a pause before he actually makes his way. This would be his fourth time filing from 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020. Among other key things that he will be expected to present will be, the banker's draft to the tune of 100,000 Ghana cedis. That is the filing fee for the presidential candidates. We also do expect that he will be presenting an introductory letter from his party, the NPP, tax clearance certificates, among others. This will be the requirements, some of the requirements he will be expected to provide as he files his nomination today. You're still watching the Citi Newsroom as we welcome the president of the land as he comes to file his nominations. He is being led by the vice president of the land, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. On his left, you find John Buedu, general secretary of the party, and he will be the second, individual to file his nomination today. We are just about 60 days away from the election, and this process is very important.
This year, the Commission has established two teams who have been tasked to review all the forms submitted. The technical team has been tasked to scrutinize the forms submitted to ensure that the presidential candidates meet the criteria as set out in the law, namely that the presidential candidate is at least 40 years of age, that he or she has satisfied all tax obligations, and that he or she has nominated a vice presidential candidate, among others. The second team, that is the IT team, has been charged with the responsibility of scrutinizing all the voter ID cards of the presidential candidates and their supporters to verify whether the candidates and their supporters are indeed registered voters. Both teams have been provided adequate training and orientation to carry out their functions as prescribed by law. The guiding principle for both teams is clear. They are to operate within the confines of the law. They are not to exercise discretion in the matter.
These are the letters from my party, nominating me as a candidate, and also the payment. In here are the 16 regions and the signatures for the district of each of the 16 regions, the regional operation. So far, the work that you have done has given people considerable confidence to the majority of people in our country that in you and in the leadership of the Electoral Commission, we have people who are committed to a free, fair, credible, and transparent process. We hope that that will mark the conduct of the elections of 7th December. I am not interested in any crooked result. I do not want to be a president elected by deceit. I look forward to a contest that will be fairly conducted so that if indeed by the grace of the Almighty I am again the choice of the Ghanaian people, it will be one that has been freely and openly demonstrated.
So key events just took place. The president completed or successfully filed his nomination forms. Well, that's until it's actually approved by the EC, but he has presented his nomination forms, apparently satisfied all requirements. The forms being presented in quadruplicate, that's 4. Now, he was supported by some key members of his party. Now, that is his official car standing by before he actually, exits the facility or the headquarters of the Electoral Commission. Now, he happens to be the very first of the major political aspirants or presidential candidate of the major political parties to actually file his form. Now, he is making his way to his official candidate.
I don't think there's any, unless you have some kind of hidden agenda, I don't think anybody can doubt the fairness of the processes that have so far been exhibited. We are all witnesses to the process. And I think that all serious-minded Ghanaians are clear in their mind that they are witnessing a fair process. There are some who are investing in trying to discredit the process for their own sectarian ends. I'm not one of them.
The president has left the premises, but apparently, the supporters, please, come over. How are you? How are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name?
Yes, Efe.
Yes, what?
Efe.
Efe. Now, you're here to support the president, yeah?
Yes.
How did you find the whole process, the excitement around?
Oh, it's very great and wonderful. Okay. We are all happy.
So you are confident? You are confident that yes, he's taking the
4 more. That's what we are all saying. 4 more for Nana. 4 more to do more for us.
Okay. Now, in a period of COVID, they asked that no, supporters should come, but you have made your way here. Why?
Oh no, we are. As you can see, we are observing the protocol, so we are okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
4 more for Nana. 4 more to do more. We are moving forward. NDC, dead and gone forever.
I'm seeing one gentleman here. He's on his Okada. Senior, Charlie, how are you?
Yeah, cool.
Nice one. On your Okada, yeah?
Yeah, I'm an Okada man.
Nice one. Now, a lot of the Okada people, are saying that, they are pulling their support for the candidate of the NDC because of his policy. What do you make of it?
It's a shame. It's a shame, serious shame, because Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia saying that when they come power, they will buy car for us, then and pay. Because of John Muhammad said that they were legalizing the Okada for us. It's a shame. That's why he said you build the mountain. Because the other Okada people, if the car, we get the car accidents, then we put us in the mountain. It's a shame. Yes.
Okay. So you are willing to stop your Okada business to get the car that the vice president promised?
The Okada people, they are not illiterates. Every Okada people don't have the chance to get the office. That was the person riding the Okada. So we are not illiterate. So you, John Muhammad, you want to take us like an illiterate? Okay. We are not illiterate. Okay. So we, the Okada people, we support Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, what they are saying, and Nana Akufo-Addo. So we are supporting him.
So you are willing to put your Okada down for the car they are promising?
Yes, for sure.
So the president of the land, Akufo-Addo, just filed his nominations, and he just walked out of the headquarters of the EC. But there were some, issues that were raised. He raised some objections. I want to speak to my colleague Sixtus Dong Ulo to just tell me what the process has been so far.
Well, so far so good. The president, Nana Akufo-Addo, is the second to submit the nominations today. But the difference here is that his nomination hasn't been accepted yet. The commission has announced that it has set up 2 separate teams to vet the documents that have been submitted in support of the president's nomination. So it is upon the vetting of these particular documents that the EC chairperson, who is the returning officer for this particular process, will then confirm the nomination of the president for the December 2020 elections. But as you can see, we're not expecting this many people because of the restrictions, COVID-19 restrictions. We're expecting initially, the commission communicated that they were going to have just 5 people from each political party supporting the candidate. But this is obviously above the rule.
All right, well, that's my colleague Sixtus Don Ulo, just giving us an idea of what happened today and what we should expect in the coming days. Earlier on today, former independent presidential candidate Joseph Osei Yeboah came through to file his nomination forms. However, he did reveal that he will not be putting himself forward as the main presidential candidate, but will rather be supporting one Alfred Walker as his running mate.
A lot of people think that I will be running as a presidential candidate. I have actually taken the position of a running mate. And then we've just decided Mr. Alfred Kwame Walker will be taking the presidential slot, and I will take his running mate. That is what we've actually presented to the Electoral Commission. And Walker is Mr. Alfred Kwame Asiedu Walker. He's the one that, and then I will be taking the second position. We just want to demonstrate to Ghanaians and all of us is that leadership is about influence. Leadership is not about struggle. Leadership is about serving the people. Leadership is about recognizing the fact that the others too also have the potential. And so I have run for twice as presidential candidate, and for that matter as independent aspirants. We came together. I said that let's make Alfred Kwame Walker, who was also an independent presidential candidate in 2016, but unfortunately he couldn't qualify. And so we all team up, and he is going to be the presidential candidate.
Now, outside of the filing of nomination forms by the flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party and former independent candidate Joseph Osei Yeboah, some other smaller parties came through to file their nomination forms. Let's have a wrap of that.
Oh, in actual sense, I know definitely I'm going to win. I'm going to remove MPP and NDC. They are not going to come to power again because they are destroying our country.
What makes you have this conviction?
Because of the work that I've done. And the youth of Ghana too are suffering. And the test is there for everybody to see that most of the people, they are in trouble, that we need to save this very country. You see, the elites thought maybe those who are who have gone to university, they have a class, they have lawyers, and the others, they have to come in the political scene. And that is the mistake that they are doing. And one day, we are going to prove to them that they are going to fall, and we are going to rise. Because you see, during the Nkrumah's era, that is what happened to Nkrumah. They thought Nkrumah would not be able to come to power because they have lawyers, they have judges, and they have these university graduates and the others. But Nkrumah won because the youth were looking for Nkrumah to come. That is what is happening nowadays.
Are you looking for Gum?
Oh, yes, looking for Gum. Definitely. Gum will come to power.